Richard Frinier, in my opinion, is the quintessential ambassador of the casual living industry. I have watched him over the years be able to elevate the image of this industry among so many different publics, you know, between his colleagues, among retailers, and then taking it all the way down to the ultimate consumer.
Richard is probably one of the most humble people I've ever run across in my career. I would say that Richard is the most famous designer in outdoor furniture in the world. He has done things that nobody else has even considered.
Richard is a visionary. He has a great understanding of humanity and the humanities. His talent seems to be in translating these acute senses into physical design, which complements ambiance, comfort, accessibility, and defines a specific leisure lifestyle.
It was 1981, and the economy was in a recession, and so was my design business. One Sunday, I'm looking at the Los Angeles Times home magazine, and on the cover is this beautiful chair, and it's sitting on a garden patio overlooking a pool. And I'm thinking this is really something special. And inside were other chairs and chaise lounges by California manufacturers. The photograph of the chair on the cover was from Brown Jordan, and I thought to myself, I could do that. So I created some sketches and made an appointment, presented myself and my ideas, and they liked them very much. But I learned from them that they were reorganizing, and they were actually going to hire an internal designer. In fact, that following Sunday, they would be running an ad in the classifieds. And on that Sunday, I looked at the ad, and I thought to myself, in the state of the economy and the state of my business, and I said to myself, you know, if I am there every day, I could make it happen. I could make it happen just by being there. And so on Monday, I called and I said, I'd like to apply for the position. And after a few interviews from others, I was selected, and my first design from one of those ideas turned out to be Quantum, a name I called for my quantum leap. And the significance of it is that it's still in the line today.
The thing that really always intrigued me about Richard was his designs. They all had arms, they all had legs, they had soul. Each particular design was one of his children, and he poured himself into it as far as how he wanted his child to grow up, so to speak.
I think Richard has that success because he's such a good listener to people, and he adapts all ideas and he transforms them in beautiful designs and beautiful atmospheres. And I think that's is a big difference, where other designers sometimes just express themselves all the time without listening to people. And he's really somebody who takes care about the world, who thinks, who reflects a lot, and who listens to people in a very wise way. So we can really learn about that.
A few years ago, he was designing a Chinese Chippendale look for Century Furniture. And in the process, actually, it wasn't something that he did by CAD or just something that he simply sketched and sent off. But he actually went out, got a bundle of bamboo, brought it to his studio, and started cutting the pieces to replicate the actual little details throughout the product as it was shaped, to the point that he even very meticulously determined where those bamboo bands would fall within the configuration. And I mean, I think that's just an extraordinary skill, but I also think that that really reflects his passion for perfection and just, you know, taking that dream and making it realistic for real people.
She's the classic example of the woman behind the man. I mean, there's such a balance between the two of them, and how she understands his creativeness and understands what his abilities are. I think helps keep him humble.
I think what's made Richard successful in this business, in this industry, is consistency. I think consistency of effort, consistency of being authentic to his trade, to the design, to trying to inspire people to want to buy a piece of furniture. I mean, it's not just a chair, it's not just a table.
My favorite story about Richard is when he left Brown Jordan, which was around 2000, 2001. At the time, I was a representative in the Mid-Atlantic states. And he came to me and he told me he was leaving, and we were very close. And he said to me, you know, I took over the moniker of the brand ambassador from Robert Brown. And I was very serious about that, maintaining the purity of what Brown Jordan is and the innovation and all the things that Brown Jordan stands for. He said, Steve, and I remember, I was a representative at the time. He said, Steve, there's nothing here, there's nothing in writing. He said, this is you and I talking, but I am giving you that honor. And he gave me, which I still have, I carry it with me every day, he gave me a logo that he had embossed in aluminum. That was one of the designs in one of the chairs. And this was 7, 8 years ago, I have carried this with me every day, whether I'm wearing a bathing suit or wearing a suit every day, because as corny as it may sound, and although it was nothing that was handed down from presidents of companies or anything like that, I have, from that day forward, taken that honor. And it is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. And it's a spiritual understanding between the two of us. And someday, I'll find someone to give this to, because he gave it to me. So that's my favorite memory of Richard Frinier.
When Richard had told me that he was going to be getting this award, he was, I think, humbled would be the word. And in his way of, when he's humbled, he's finding the lighter side of things. So he was chuckling and saying, you know, I can't believe I'm actually getting this award. They give this award to people that are dead or retired, and I'm not ready to make an announcement.
Well, certainly this is a time of change, and I think we all are making it, whether we like to or not. And I certainly think that change within regards to the new products that we'll be seeing, the new channels of distribution and marketing, will all be radically different than they have been in the 20th century. So I foresee really an exciting time, and I hope you all do too. I believe that the best is yet to come.